Alright guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at Circle. So today, July 17th, tomorrow is Friday, pretty much last day of the option expiration. And if we take a look at the daily chart of the Circle, which is pretty much topped out at 300, came down, declining 40 something percent, and then grinding its way back up to the price. Pay attention to this price. This is June option expiration. This is when the stock was trading with extremely high volume. Okay, if you take a look at the volume, declined with declining volume and grinded its way back up in the last 2 days. It just pretty much came to this level, and just pay attention to this closing price, right? So I put a line here, and this is essentially what it is doing at this point. Throughout this, from this option expiration to this option expiration, it's pretty much killing premium. So when price closes right where it opened in the beginning of the from the beginning of the option expiration to the end of option expiration, of course with some volatility, but closing right there, a lot of call buyers, a lot of put buyers got pretty much destroyed both ways. So when the stock was declining right here, a lot of people maybe thought that it would break and keep going lower. Those puts got destroyed, and a lot of people who were buying calls as well throughout this time got destroyed as well, because it did, of course, unless you were trying to day trade and stuff, but sure. But my point is, if you are somebody who was holding options calls right around these times, well, you were crushed, okay? And then puts got crushed. So this is what I mean when I essentially last time talked about Circle. We'll get to this one. July 2nd, IV crush. That was the title of this video. And this is exactly what is happening. So tomorrow is Friday, and I'm not expecting too much from the stock during this OPEX. And come next OPEX, pretty much come this option expiration, I would expect the stock have a big move. Can it squeeze a little bit more to the upside? Sure, but what I'm saying is it can roll over after, or it can just go a little bit sideways, but come closer the August option expiration, which is 15th of August, I believe. Let's take a look at that just to be sure. Yeah, 15th of August, which is next option expiration. So stock is pricing like $60 move up or down. It can move from there. So how far it's going to move? Well, let's take a look at the levels from here. This stock doesn't have much to look at. So we pretty much from June 5th, this is the IPO price. I can only pull the 5-day moving average and 20-day moving average. So those moving averages on my chart, this blue line right there, which is 20-day at 206, 5-day SMA at 211. So those are my support levels, okay? So anytime that moving average pretty much starts downtrending like this, any pop is a short. But for me, very pivotal area would be this 209 as well, 210 give or take. If it cracks that level, I would be watching 180. This is the support somewhere right there. 180, 165 zone-ish, I want to say, because this was the breakout right there. And below 165, I mentioned it before, there's a little gap from 133 to all the way, what it was like 143. And I would be watching this gap to get filled at some point. I'm not saying that it has to happen by August expiration, but this is something I would be looking for if this stock tries to go lower. If it wants to push higher, we all know the resistance levels. The highest closing price, 265. Above that 265 close, that's going to look pretty bullish actually. And of course, with the resistance at the on an hourly chart, I still watch the wicks. I don't draw the support resistance like this, but I still watch it for intraday, and that was basically $299 level. So that would be my next level. If this stock somehow closes above 265, let's say next option expiration window, it tries to melt higher and it just closes above that level, that's very, very, very bullish considering how many people were shorting at these levels. Okay, so even right now, it is, I mean, it's very possible that it can, even with one move, get back above that level and squeeze the hell out of these shorts. It is possible, but given the valuation, and of course, I'm keeping an eye on overall like stablecoins and all the crypto names that have been running. I think those will take a break at some point, and I think they're extended. Whatever you want to look at it, in my opinion, Ethereum, it might have a little bit of a gas in the tank. Bitcoin, I think at some point we will see some choppiness or sideways action, which will cause Circle either pretty much spend, it can definitely spend another month of like this, for sure. It doesn't always have to go down or up, but usually when IV crush happens from one option expiration to another option expiration, stock tends to move one way or another. It will just pick a direction. Not always, but it will pick a direction. So I would be watching both ways. I'm not holding any position right now. I'm not holding any options. I'm just purely watching for these two levels essentially. So 265, and if it fails to stay or build above 242 right there after the option expiration, sure, I'll be looking at 5-day, 20-day moving average to possibly short it or maybe buy some puts if it slips below 5-day moving average. So that's my update for Circle going forward. But we'll definitely come back maybe next week after the option expiration. But that's what I'm watching for this name. So that's the update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And this is not a buy or sell recommendation. These videos are purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. Take care. Peace.